Hey guys, Tables, Odds, and Chairs 2019 went down last night, and it was an interesting pay-per-view to say the least. Not my personal favorite of the year. You'll see why in this review video. Before I get to that, I want to apologize for the weird angle and lighting. I'm currently in the middle of a move, so that's why I'm filming like this. But you'll see why I'm in the mood a little bit later. But anyway, back to the show. It was the TLC 2019 show, first match on the kickoff show. Humberto Carrillo versus Andrade. Fun match. These two guys have some pretty good chemistry in the ring together. And during the match, Andrade got busted open, and him and Zelina have been having this like little storyline where will they part ways, will they not? Well, eventually, her and Andrade got on the wrong page during the match. It's allowed Carrillo to hit a massive moonsault for the win. He gets the win, but the real storyline here was the Andrade Zelina alliance possibly breaking up. But this was also a kind of a good win for Carrillo. He did get a win on a pay-per-view kickoff show, kind of a big stage for him. So WWE looks to be building him up while continuing to play off this Andrade Zelina storyline. So we'll see where it goes from there. But anyway, kickoff show match was pretty good. Carrillo gets the win over Andrade here. After that, we had a Firefly Funhouse styled intro, which is pretty cool. And then we moved into the first match of the main card. It was New Day versus Revival for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships in a ladder match. And this had a lot of cool spots. We'll get right into it. Revival, they tossed Kofi onto the LED ringboard apron. That was very painful. Kofi then hit a splash on a ladder to the Revival. And then Big E went for a splash and ended up hitting the ladder on his chest. That looked very painful as well. The Revival would drop kick a ladder into the nuts of Big E during this match, and then Kofi hit this incredible like springboard. So he was on the ladder, he tipped over the ladder, he ends up standing on the ropes, jumps back up, hits a tornado DDT on who was that? I think it was on Dawson. And then there's the big spear by Big E through the middle rope. Dawson would superplex Big E into a ladder, but he kind of like missed, and like Big E's shoulder would like clip the edge of the ladder. So then they put him back up on the ladder. I think Dosh hit a big splash onto Big E, and that bent the ladder totally. After that, Big E hit a big ending to Dash off the ladder, which is really cool. And then it was Kofi and Dawson. They're on the ladder. Kofi would grab the SmackDown Tag Team titles, slam it in the face of Dawson, would fall off the one ladder and fall through another ladder. And then Kofi would grab the belts. This allowed New Day to retain. Great match, fun match. These two teams had very good chemistry together. And it seems here TLC was off to a great start because this was, in my opinion, the best match on the card. Everything else could not live up to it, and you'll see why. But anyway, New Day, Revival, killed it. Hopefully this is not the last time we see these two teams fight. I mean, they might have a break in the future because they've been battling pretty frequently recently, so maybe they will part ways for a little bit, but hopefully these two teams cross paths once again, maybe when Xavier Woods comes back. After that, we had Buddy Murphy versus Aleister Black, and in the beginning, Murphy and Black were going move for move. Black's face was actually busted, his nose was busted open when he face planted on these stairs thanks to Murphy. Then Black hit a clean knee shot right to the face of Murphy. Sounded painful, looked painful, only to keep Murphy down for a 2 count. Murphy was then hitting these numerous super kicks to the face of Aleister Black, who was like bent over on the turnbuckle, and then he would then follow up with a big power bomb, again going to keep Black down for 2. This was pretty much a heavy hitting match with a lot of hard strikes, but in the end it was Black who drilled Murphy with the Black Mass from out of nowhere for the win. Another solid contest on this TLC card. Black gets the win over Murphy. I think this would kind of be like the blow off to this feud. They're always saying who's going to knock on Aleister Black's door next. Buddy Murphy knocks. We'll see if another bigger wrestler knocks on Aleister Black going forward. Or Aleister Black's door going forward. After that, we had the Viking Raiders versus the OC for the Raw Tag Team Championships, and this is when the show decided to go downhill fast. This is nothing merely more than a KFC ad, which is very disappointing. So the Viking Raiders, they came out, they got a skull chant because they're in Minnesota, go Vikings, and then they had an open challenge. This was the OC who answered that challenge. They brought up how they're the only team to beat the Viking Raiders on the main roster since they debuted. And then Anderson was hit with a Viking experience, but Gallows breaks up the pin. Eventually, both teams ended up fighting on the outside, and it ends a double count out. And the OC was going to look like they're going to hit the Magic Killer onto, I forget which one of the Viking Raiders, but they had this KFC table, they moved it, they were going to hit the Magic Killer on the KFC table. Viking Raiders countered and actually slammed Anderson through the KFC ad table. That was at ringside. Horrible match. Nothing special happened. Just a glorified KFC commercial that ends in a double count out. Lame with a capital L-A-M-E. You can just go ahead and skip this match. After that, we had Roman Reigns versus Baron Corbin in a TLC match. This wasn't the typical TLC match where there's a belt or something hanging above the ring. This was just a match where tables, ladders, and chairs were legal to use. Corbin was carried to the ring on a throne, and then Reigns started the match by taking out all of Corbin's security guards, the guys who carried Corbin to the ring on the throne. Corbin hit a chokeslam backbreaker on Reigns, which was pretty impressive. Looked pretty painful as well. Reigns slammed Corbin into a chair, then hit him with a Superman punch. It was a pretty nice combo. Corbin then hit Reigns with a can of dog food and chokeslammed him through a table. A nice little callback to that little SmackDown episode where they dumped the dog food on him. And then Reigns took control and was going to go for a massive spear to Corbin through the barricade, but then he got drilled in the face with a super kick by Dolph Ziggler. And then the Revival came out, and Corbin's security also got involved. Eventually, Corbin hit an end of days on a chair for the win on Reigns. Not a very entertaining match. It seemed like it was just about to hit that next gear when WWE decided to overbook this match to the max. The Revival, Dolph Ziggler, and Corbin's security guards, along with Corbin. It took all these guys to beat Roman Reigns. Now, I know they're trying to play up Roman Reigns as the babyface, and they did a good job not having him booed by the crowd anymore, but having him overcome the odds like Superman, or have all these guys beat him because he's like Superman does not do well for Corbin, makes him look weak. It's going to make Reigns get booed in my opinion again, so not a very fun match. Had some nice spots here and there, but otherwise it was just kind of dumb. Makes Corbin look weak. I'm not a Corbin fan by any means, but if you're trying to build this guy up as a legitimate heel, not get him cheap heat, this is not the way to do it. After that, we had The Miz versus Bray Wyatt for what I thought was the Universal Championship. Now I'm reading it wasn't for the Universal title. I'm a little confused there why it wasn't. So Miz comes out, and then Bray Wyatt, not the Fiend, Bray Wyatt comes out into the Firefly Funhouse theme song. He's got a sweater, he's waving to the crowd, playing up the like Pee Wee Herman type of gimmick pretty well. The crowd's loving it. In the beginning, Miz was dominating early and looked like Bray Wyatt was like trying to like make peace with him, and Miz wasn't having it, just beating him up. Wyatt was laughing during the Miz's offensive onslaught, and then apparently Miz dislocated Wyatt's shoulder, just caused Wyatt to like ram himself into a barricade, try and pop that back into place. After that, it was pretty much Wyatt dominating the final minute of the match. He had Sister Abigail for the win. Nothing too special here. Miz just kind of made it look like a joke. And then Wyatt got a big mallet, the same mallet I think we saw at Hell in a Cell. He got that out from under the ring and was going to hit Miz in the face, and a picture of the Fiend appeared in the Jumbotron. Then the lights started to go out, and these like weird noises came on the speakers, and Wyatt was saying, he's here, thinking it's the Fiend. And then who appears? A clean-shaven Daniel Bryan, no beard, got a buzz cut, and he just started beating the crap out of Bray Wyatt. So Bryan was going to hit Wyatt with the same hammer, but then the lights disappeared. And then when the lights came back on, Wyatt was gone. So it looks like we're going to have Bryan versus Wyatt at the Royal Rumble. A nice little callback to Royal Rumble, I want to say 2014? Maybe it's got to be 2014 when they had that. I think it was a cage match between Daniel Bryan and Bray Wyatt. So yeah, it looks like these two are going to be battling for the Universal title at the Royal Rumble. The match itself was not good. The post-match antics with Daniel Bryan, that was very entertaining. After that, we had a tables match between Rusev and Lashley, and oh my gosh, this might be one of the most cringeworthy storylines in WWE today. So Rusev hit a suplex on the ramp on Lashley, then Rusev was knocked Lashley off the ring, and there's a table set in between the ring and the floor. Lashley managed to jump over the table. Lashley started hammering Rusev with a kendo stick. Rusev grabbed the kendo stick and started hitting Lashley with it. This is when Lana got involved. She interfered on Lashley's behalf. This allowed Lashley to spear Rusev, who hit a table in one corner. The table didn't break. Rusev kind of like bounced off, so Lashley just grabbed him and kind of like belly to belly threw him into the table in the other turnbuckle for the win. I don't know if that was planned or not, but it looked pretty cool to see Rusev like get speared, pounce right into Lashley, then it's belly to belly. So Lashley still is your winner here. I don't think this rivalry is over because you know Rusev is going to get some sort of revenge on Lashley and Lana going forward. After that, we had Street Profits cutting a promo backstage. And then this fight between Roman Reigns and Baron Corbin and a bunch of other guys kind of got involved in the promo. So then the Street Profits just joined in, and then it cut to the next match, which was the main event. Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair versus the Kabuki Warriors for the Women's Tag Team Championship in a tables, ladders, and chairs match. This match started out well, and then it got sloppy and very botchy toward the end. So Flair and Lynch tossed Sane from the announce table to the other announce table back and forth. That was a cool little tennis spot. Asuka threw a chair at Flair's face, and then Asuka face planted on a chair and a ladder courtesy of Becky Lynch. And then there's a weird part where Sane was trying to throw these chairs in the ring. They bounced off the ring rope, and it looked like it might have hit her in the face. And then I don't know if they improvised or what, because then Lynch and Flair just got outside the ring and they all started fighting on the outside of the ring. And Asuka found a rope and started whipping people with it. And then both of them tied Becky Lynch to a ladder. Like, this is something you see out of like an old movie with the guy with the curly mustache tying the girl to the train tracks. This is what it reminded me of. So they tied Lynch to this ladder, and they started beating up on Charlotte Flair. Eventually Flair was able to fight back. She tossed Asuka into a pile of chairs, and then Lynch somehow managed to untie herself from the ladder, and then her and Flair started beating up the Kabuki Warriors. Lynch hit a leg drop to Asuka from the top rope to a table. That was a pretty cool spot. And then Sane had Flair and Lynch on a table and went for an elbow drop, but it looked like it was a botch. I'm not too entirely sure. It looked like Flair got out of the way, but Becky didn't get out of the way, so I'm not sure if Sane was supposed to crush a table or what. Just an awkward looking spot. And then Flair and Sane botched a spear, so on the side of the ring, what you see on TV during a match, Flair went for a spear on Sane. It was bad looking. Looked like no impact at all. Looked like Sane was like gently placed on the ground to make up for it. Charlotte just slapped her in the face. After that, Asuka powerbombed Flair off the top turnbuckle to a table on the outside of the ring. A 6 spot, but a nasty landing for Charlotte. She didn't like curl her head up to like help, I guess, absorb the blow. Her head just like smacked the ground. Like her back and head were like parallel. Just smacked the ground. And her reaction immediately after that, you could tell it hurt. She was no longer involved in the match after that. After that, Asuka used the top rope to. So Lynch was climbing this ladder, and then Asuka had a rope tied to a ladder. So Lynch is climbing the ladder. She grabs the belts. Asuka pulls the rope, which knocks the ladder over. This allows Asuka to climb up the ladder and grab the belts. The Kabuki Warriors are still your women's tag team champions. And then immediately after that, the brawl with Roman Reigns and Baron Corbin and the other wrestlers backstage spilled onto the main arena floor. And the show ended with Reigns like spearing Corbin off like a little aisleway onto a pile of wrestlers. And that's how the show ended. Very weird ending. Not a great card overall, in my opinion. Survivor Series was really good. TLC, not a good follow-up. Watch the first few matches. Watch the kickoff show match, the ladder match with New Day and Revival, and then watch Aleister Black and Buddy Murphy, and then you can turn the show off after that because the rest of the card was not that good. And then just the ending, the main event was a botch fest, and then to have Roman Reigns and Baron Corbin close up the show with a brawl in the middle of the crowd. Weird decision on WWE's part. And yeah, that's how the last pay-per-view of the decade ends, with a very awkward brawl. And that's all I got for you. If you like this video, feel free to get a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, check out my website, cincyfanzone.blogspot.com. Give me a follow on Twitter and Instagram. Both of those are at Cincy Fan Zone. Links to both of those are in the description below. And as always, guys, thanks for watching.